disaster. Indeed, Durban has had its fair share of floods since 2019. This year alone, we had 4 floods, let me call it that, 2 in March and 2 in April. And they were just 2 weeks apart. And that caused a terrible devastation to our infrastructure. It displaced a number of people and caused terrible damage. And the city is really recovering from all these incidents since 2019. To be honest, it cost the city dearly because the money that is set aside to maintain, replace, and roll out new infrastructure ends up being used now to actually replace the infrastructure that was damaged by floods. So it's a terrible situation, but I must say that the city has recovered and bounced back. Even our tourist numbers can confirm that the city today has opened 22 of its 23 beaches, precisely because we've been able to deal with our infrastructure, particularly the infrastructure that was causing sewage spill into our rivers and then into our oceans. We've built a number of bridges that were destroyed by rains, and I'm yet to unveil a number of bridges and other infrastructure that has since been repaired over the last few years. We can't do anything. It's an act of God. Ours is to try and cope and actually start now to adopt adaptation measures. Thanks.
Absolutely, because Mayor, we're seeing that this is happening more often than not. Perhaps it's time to really consider KwaZulu-Natal and eThekwini more specifically to be a flood-prone area. But I'm sure you might have seen earlier this week, in fact, a couple of days ago, that High Court ruling, Mayor, which essentially found that the Metro had unlawfully reopened beaches in 2022, despite high E. coli levels. I wonder what your response formally to that is, as you try, of course, to assure some travelers in the Metro that they are safe if they decide to take a dip into the beach this December.
Well, look, we have 22 of our 23 bathing beaches open and safe for swimming. And the norm is that we must conduct tests, we must test the water quality every second week. But the city decided that because we are now in the festive season, we must test, we must increase the regularity. We must test the water every week. We test our water quality every week. And I can confirm that our waters are safe for people to open. We put a premium on safety of our tourists. I must also add this, that since the start of the festive season, there are no reported E. coli infections within the city. It confirms that we are correct, we are right.
As you can imagine, there are many of your detractors who I imagine are also watching us, who've pointed to long-standing infrastructure challenges. I mean, there are reports dating back several years of the wastewater systems, which have been found to be non-compliant with standards in some instances. And of course, the concern here is that this will lead to economic harm because of the perception, at the very least, that is created. What is being done to address some of those compliance-related matters, which are well documented even from internal audits conducted in the city?
Well, what they're mentioning, Ayanda, is that about 10 of our wastewater treatment plants do not have a license. But I must say this, that in the city we have 27 wastewater treatment plants. They are at various stages of getting licenses. And this 10 indeed are just in the process of getting licensed. You'll understand this. It's not that it's due to laxity on our part or negligence. You see, the national government has imposed higher standards, and that for you to obtain a license, you must meet these standards that they've actually imposed on municipalities that control wastewater treatment plants. So we're not contesting those new standards. They are there for good reasons. Ours is to comply with them. And so we are exactly doing that. But as to the functionality and the maintenance of all of them, we are doing well as a city. Like I'm saying now, in the past, there was an issue of our system discharging into our rivers, discharging untreated effluent into our rivers, but that is not the case anymore. We are attending to that level. So it means that it's just an issue of technicalities, and we're addressing those technicalities. We have set aside R1 billion in this budget to continue to upgrade and improve our infrastructure in the city. It's work in progress, and
Sure. Where is that R1 billion coming from? I don't suppose you had it lying around.
Well, of course, it's money that comes from our ratepayers. I appreciate the fact that they are paying for the services. Part of it came as a grant from national government. And there's a new grant I've just received that has actually boosted our coffers to then give us the capacity to go an extra mile in terms of servicing our infrastructure. I'm saying it's money that we're spending, not money that is lying somewhere. We're spending that money.
All right. So it's not money that had to, I suppose, affect other departments, is the sense I'm getting from you.
No.
Right.
It's new money, yes.
Okay. With the time we have left, Mr. Mayor, I wonder if we can shift our focus to perhaps more of the inner city itself, where there's been a fair amount of challenges too that I suppose in the long run could affect how people interact with the city itself. Concerns around illegal dumping, which when it rains heavily has an impact on the beaches as well. Hijacked buildings also come to mind. How much of a focus is placed on that part of the city as, of course, you take care of the coast?
Well, thank you very much for those two questions. But let me, send this appeal to media houses that whenever you are interviewing us, and during that interview you broadcast a clip, please indicate the age of the clip, of the video clip, because sometimes you present a video clip as if it is new, yet it's something that happened in the past and was long fixed. So even if you just put a date, we don't mind media houses, broadcasting those images. Just a date indicating the age, so that the public is not going to think that what is being broadcast on TV is what is obtaining or happening as we speak. So I thought I should just make this because I've seen it before. But as to hijacked buildings, we have a program, firstly, to deal with bad buildings in the city. We have, as part of our inner city regeneration, we are addressing that, and we are actually reclaiming all the buildings that were hijacked and by the hijackers, but that is work in progress. It's more a police function, and sometimes we have to go to court, but that work will soon be laid bare so that the public can see what we are doing as a city. As for the other point that you have raised in the
illegal
city,
dumping, yes.
Illegal dumping, yes. Illegal dumping, but the city, if you go drive the city Ayanda now, as you speak, in fact, since the last, I think a year and more, the city is clean, and that which was an illegal dumping is now an issue of the past. But my plea to the public is that we can do that with this much. It's supposed to be a collaborative effort, that when we clean the city, the public must also play their part, because it serves no purpose to dump in areas where you are not supposed to dump your own stuff, illegal dumping, like you are saying. But we are enforcing the law, and we are increasing the enforcement. We have increased the number of boots on the ground. We hope that with time, the message number one, as a public campaign, public awareness campaign, will finally filter down. Two, we are actually enforcing the law. We are using both the carrot and the stick, because it can't be a carrot all the time. At some point, we must use a stick. We must take people to court. And that is being considered by the city, that whoever is found dumping illegally, that person is taken to the court processes. They get fined, we take them to court, and we force them to clean up their own mess. That's what we are doing in the city. There are still those pockets of that, but we are addressing them. But generally, the city is clean, and thanks to dedicated staff of the city that is works 24 hours to clean our streets and our venues, as it were.
All right, Mr. Mayor, we will certainly, hopefully, be able to point to that progress that you speak about as we continue watching the inner city in eThekwini. For now, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us, eThekwini Mayor there, Cyril Xaba. The point you make about the visuals we broadcast, I think, is well taken. So if your stint ends as mayor, perhaps you want to step into the newsroom for more tips on how to do things. Mr. Mayor, once again, thanks very much indeed for your time.